Kanye West buys a house directly across the street from Kim Kardashian while they're in the middle of divorce.
This is interesting to me. And first, I would like to ask whether Kim Kardashian signed off on this. Maybe they want to be great co-parents, and maybe she's all for him moving across the street so that her kids can have access to him and vice versa.
That seems reasonable, though.
I mean, I hope that's what it is, because the alternative is very stalkery and creepy.
Well, I guess he wants her back. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's made public displays at concerts very recently saying he wants her back. Yeah, I think he did. Well, I think it was the concert. Was it the concert right after Thanksgiving? Sometime between, I think, Thanksgiving and Christmas. He has a concert and he very overtly sings a song to her and I want you back, blah, blah, blah. She wants no part of this, is what she's saying publicly. I want to be divorced. I want to be single. I don't want anything to do with you in that manner. And she's been running around with Pete Davidson, who also has been running around with Miley Cyrus. So it's very strange. I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like maybe Kim is like, well, you can live there because it would be easier to co-parent with you. I mean, think about it. It's in the same neighborhood. It's a gated community. Mm-hmm. They can co-parent more privately than they could, if he's across town and, paparazzi following them everywhere. I can buy into that. But then there's this part of me, if he's making these grand gestures in concerts and saying he wants her back, then you buy the house across the street. You may put it in a neat package as well, it's co-parent, but you just want to be close to your ex. And that's creepy to me.
Yeah, and he's just a testament to the old adage, you never know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you have until it's gone. And it feels to me, because Kim was pretty quiet about their relationship. I mean, you rarely heard her criticizing him too much. Every now and then she kind of let you peek behind the curtains. But he was gone all the time. He bought that property in Wyoming where I guess he was living for quite some time, and just didn't seem to attend to her. And I just saw some of the Christmas photos that they released, and I'm just looking at her, stunning. Yeah. I mean, and she's beautiful. Your children are beautiful. And she's past the baby bar. She's a bazillionaire. She's got prospects, honey. She's got so much going for her. And I understand that 21-year-old girls are pretty and stuff and cute and sexy, and everybody is obsessed with strange, I guess. I don't know men. I don't know men. They want some strange. Is that what they call it?
Strange.
Well, strange. Some strange. I mean, I get that that's some of the impulses of men, but I'm just like, it's Kim Kardashian. And now you see her, and he's got to be just dying inside. If he's making these kind of proclamations, if he's getting up on stage, if he's buying the house across the street, like, he's got to be regretting deeply what he has done to his family. And again, I say there are rumors that he cheated on her.
Yeah.
Cheated on her during the marriage.
And not just once, like repeatedly.
No. Correct. I can't believe that. I root for Kanye. I do root for Kanye. And I love Kanye's music. I've always really enjoyed him creatively, and I'm just sad because you had a whole ass family.
Yeah.
And she was devoted. She was devoted, and she still seems devoted as a friend to show up to your concerts dressed in a wedding dress and supporting you in the ways that they've taken the kids. And maybe she's still being a friend by being okay with him moving across the street. But if not, he needs to get over it.
Yeah, I feel like this could potentially be a recipe for disaster.
Inappropriate.
Yeah,
well, since we're on the Kardashians, I don't know if you recently saw that Khloe put up a post talking about, I mean, it was kind of vague Instagram post about moving on after someone hurts you or after things go wrong. You pick up and you keep going. And it seemed kind of an obvious, it was directed at what happened between her and Tristan. And there's another guy. Well, he doesn't strike me as having the same kind of emotional intelligence as Kanye West, even though Kanye West's emotional intelligence seems to come on and off.
It comes and goes.
Not correct. Whereas Tristan just seems like he's vapid to me. He just seems like he's out to get his dick sucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry. You're such a prude. I'm sorry. He's just
out
I'm
okay with it because I'm not watching it.
Right. Exactly. It's not on Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's not
but
Bridgerton.
He's just out here just waving his what did Candy's mom say? no, was it whose mom was it? Oh, I'm forgetting who it is. The Braxton mother. Laying it low and spreading it wide.
Yes, laying it low and spreading it. Evelyn, Miss E.
He's just out here.
Laying it low, spreading it wide.
Spreading it wide. Exactly. That's what he's doing. And you have a queen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Khloe Kardashian, you have a queen. What are these men thinking? I don't get it. And you're a man, obviously, and you're not in your 20s anymore.
How dare you?
I'm saying but is the urge to just put your pee in stuff? Is it all day, every day? Could you just illuminate us? Is the urge to stick it in always around?
I think.
Just be honest.
Yeah,
because we hear all kinds of.
I think for a lot of men, absolutely, and I think for a chunk of men, no. I think it just depends on your body makeup, chemistry, that kind of thing. But I think that it definitely is there for some people. But again, it also goes to, are you doing the right thing? Or, if you're in a relationship and that is not appropriate because you have talked about these are the parameters and, we're not doing these other things, and you do it, then, you're just a scumbag. So, and then you have people say, well, it's unnatural to be faithful. We're not monogamous people. We're like wild animals and, out there in the bush. But, I don't know. I feel like it depends on who it is, how they were raised, and truly how they live their life. And unfortunately, a lot of these women get with these men that you've already seen that are like players and unfaithful, and you think you're going to change them. You think, and again, that may play into some of these surgeries to look a certain way to keep their interest. But when you realize that, yeah, you're their interest for the moment, but they'll have other interests, and their interests will get younger and younger and younger, and you are going to get older and older and older. And they will too, but men age differently than women. And a lot of these guys, people always say, oh, they just look so much better the older they get. They call them DILFs and things like that. But these women are competing with these unrealistic expectations, all to keep a man that they knew was a dog from the beginning. That's the part that I don't get.
Especially Khloe, because I think when she got with Tristan, he was with somebody else at the time, and so she was.
I'm like, why do you do
well
that?
aware of
but again,
his proclivities.
Yeah, and I'm like, you knew that. Why do you do that? But then that even goes in, and it's a whole side conversation about these what is it, love after lockup shows, and these 90-day fiancés where they want to get with these men from other countries or these women from other countries, and they all treat everyone horribly, and it's just fight after fight, and they're all cheating, and I just sit there and I'm like, you people are just dumb. Like, why would you do it? First of all, don't even get me started on love after lockup.
I want to get you started.
Love after lockup.
I want to get you started.
I mean. Why, one, are you writing to inmates? I'm sorry. I understand that inmates,
right?
and you could go to jail and you could be a good person and you could want to change and do better when you get out. However, the people that they feature don't. Most of them. They all just continue. And then their cutaway interviews, they're just going on and on how they're using them for money and sex and all of this. And these people are like, I just love them. Like, I don't understand
I don't understand either.
How
it's like zombies.
Do you not have,
I don't get it.
Yes. How do you not have any sense of pride, self-worth, anything that you just... And then some of these people are talking to multiple convicts. And one got out, and then 2 months later, another one gets out. Well, what am I going to do now? I have to tell this person to go over here so I can meet with this person over here. It is so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
And it's clear that we're not having the same life experience as most of these people. and I have to tell you that I haven't been with a ton of people in my life, okay? Sexually. But the long-term relationships that I have had have always been with faithful men. Like, I have never been in a relationship with a guy who cheated on me. Well, one time I had a boyfriend. It's a whole thing. That doesn't count.
That's a boyfriend. Right, that's not a marriage.
Right.
Yeah, we don't count that.
I've never had all of my people, all of my men have been really great people. I even say that about my second husband, who hates my guts, but he was a great person. And my first husband, great guy. My third husband and final husband, Jeremy, the competent, fantastic guy. And I know that he would never do that to me. I just know that. And I'm so comfortable with that. So I can't imagine what it would be like to be with somebody where you are always worried about that, which I think Khloe must have gotten to that point where she's always worried, like, where's he putting his pee today? What kind of scandal is going to come out today? Never feeling secure and confident. It's got to be horrible. And if you're going to cheat on Beyonce, if you're going to cheat on Kim Kardashian, like, you're the problem, dude. You're the problem. And the reason I was asking is because Tristan, I think, is in his 20s or 30s. Kanye's in his 40s. I mean, so this insatiable desire to stick it in for men growing up, and I don't mean to put men down, but I mean, this is my sense of it. It's just sometimes kind of crazy making, the desire to do that. Does it start to wane as you get older?
It doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to. We keep seeing this, and we see this across the spectrum of, guys in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. I mean, look at Hugh Hefner. In your 50s and he was 60s, like 158, still getting women pregnant and having these relationships. And I'm like, it's... And again, we're not there. So, was he really getting them pregnant? I'm assuming. But, I mean...
I don't know.
It's a thing.
Men need to... I read something by Dr. Andrew Weil many years ago, and he was essentially saying that he concedes that sexual drive and prowess diminishes as you age. But he's like, isn't that a good thing? You're no longer completely distracted every minute of every day, wondering about the poon out there or whatever. You're not thinking about it, pursuing it. Like, you have time and mental space to create something and build something and do something of value. Like, embrace that. But I feel like for so many men, they're unable to shift gears and do that, or they think it's a status thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's a status thing.
Men in your
it becomes habitual. You behave your this way your whole life, so you don't really have anything else meaningful going on. That's the only behavior you know. Right. And maybe on some levels they're self-loathing, and they just like that moment because they feel great in that moment, and then move on. And that's why I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again. Let's get back together. But then they do it again. And so I think that's just, it's a pattern. And I believe self-loathing has to be at the core of a lot of it.
Which is maybe maybe it's the mirrored reaction to what the women are doing with their plastic surgery.
Very well could be.
They're not looking at themselves. They're not connecting with themselves. And so they're doing these superficial things, affairs, plastic surgery, all of these things, and not really getting to the bottom of it. Like, you shouldn't be with a guy who has the capacity to dog you like that, Khloe Kardashian. Yeah. And I think Kim gets it, honey.
Yeah, she does.
I think Kim gets it. She's like, okay, you can move, go ahead, but you're never getting this again. Maybe I'm wrong. But my prediction is she will keep it moving and find someone else. And sorry, Kanye, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You never know what you have until it's gone.
That's right. And I think
age-old
until they, talk about, bringing the spirit into it, I think if you don't do that work, these patterns and behaviors, whether it's the, rabid sex or the rabid surgeries, it will never cease. You will never be happy. It will never be enough because you aren't enough, because you haven't done that shadow work to become a more whole human being.
Yeah,
it's just where we are.
And that is where we are.